In this video, I'm going to present you our PyJac Hackathon project, the Google Drive Space Saver. This project is created by myself, Ian, and my teammate, Gideon, and we're in the beginner category. We combined the two prompts together by utilizing the Google Drive API in some way and including the elements of randomness in our project. So why Google Drive Space Saver? Have you ever found your Google Drive is full? And when you go through your Google Drive, you'll find files that you're never going to use again. We noticed that upgrading your Google Drive is expensive and it's daunting to search through files in your drive to save up space. So we create this application that can randomly select a file for you and help you to do the job gradually with no pressure. And quick overview of our program. Our program can randomly choose an old file in your drive and present it to you. We apply filters so only files that are not modified in 1 year and files that are not in shared drive will be presented to you. You can have three options to deal with the files. You can either keep your file, or you can delete the file permanently in your drive. The third option, you can back up your file in your local computer, which downloads the file in your local computer, and we delete it permanently from your drive to save up space. Our development process can be mainly divided into two parts, the backend and the front end. The backend development is mainly done by me. We used a Google Drive API Python library to make queries such as downloading files and deleting files. We also use the Google Drive app and the OAuth 2.0 client's ID to request users' consent to access their data. This requires users' authentication and authorization to enable our application to access their file data in their drive. While the front development is mainly done by Gideon, we use tkinter to build the graphical user interface, which communicates between the user and the backend Python code to make queries such as downloading files and deleting files. So now let me demonstrate how this application works. As you can see, this is a sample drive which contains some files, and storage is 2.4 megabytes. And this is the first page of the interface, and there's a brief introduction explaining what this app is going to do. So now let me click start. As you can see, we're showing the limit storage space and how much storage is used so that the user can have a clear idea on how many space are left in their drive. You can see the app randomly choose files from the drive and show you how much space it takes. And you can choose to either keep the file, delete the file, or back up your file. So now it randomly generates the MAT223 reading PDF, and we can choose keep the file. As we choose to keep the file, it saves the file into this JSON file, and so that it will not recommend the same file to the user again. So we go back to the drive and we can choose either exit the program or restart the program. So now we're going to restart the program, and it randomly generates another file, which this time is another MAT223 reading file. It's a PDF, and we can choose to delete the file. This file is same as this one. As we click the delete button, it deletes from the drive and it shows how many space have been saved up for you. And we can do it again, and this time it randomly selects the 2.4, which is this file, and this time we can choose to back up the file. As we back up the file is deleted from the drive completely, and as you can see, it is downloaded into my local computer. Same now, I'm going to briefly explain the code of this program, and this is the Python file which communicates with the Google Drive and make queries using the API. And we used the Google Drive Python library and create this instance so that we can make queries such as getting the file size, the storage information, and also downloading files and deleting files from the Google Drive. And every time the user press the keep button, it will save the file into this JSON file and append new dictionary of files into this list so that it will not recommend to the user again. So this is the graphical user interface file, which mainly links to the Python code and communicates between the user and the Google Drive API to send queries such as deleting files or downloading files. We originally wanted to have a Chrome extension so that it loads only when a person quickly glances into their Google Drive. But because of time and we had used Python, we were not able to totally dig into all possible ways to make this possible. We hope that in the future we can make this a web browser extension to help people save their space on Google Drive. This will lead us to the next step. We would probably have to write our code in JavaScript instead of Python. If it's possible, we would like to publish our app on Google Cloud and Chrome Marketplace so that everyone can use it. So here's the resources we have used it to finish our project.